I'm great, and you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Nice to meet you, finally.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well. You got a
No
nice
messy, right? No.
you got a nice background there though. That's a pretty painting in the back.
Yeah, it's a really nice painting. It's a Canadian artist that I know. Yeah.
You got Mario back there and
Yeah, it's a Mario clock.
oh my gosh, how fun.
It's really cool.
Oh
But it's
my
not
gosh.
working though.
Oh, it's still cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really nice, but I just have to replace the battery.
Does it make any like Mario sounds or
Sorry, I couldn't hear it. Can you
does it
repeat it?
make any like Mario sounds?
No, not really.
No.
Not really. Yeah, let me see if it. Yeah, no, it's not working. But no, it doesn't make any sound.
Uh,
Just the regular TikTok.
that's fun. That's fun. That's about the last game. Well, I guess Mortal Kombat, but I get that's one of the last games that I played was Mario clear back in the 90s.
Oh, I remember that too. Where are you located?
In Idaho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm in Toronto. Pretty
Yeah.
cold here.
Yeah. It's actually been pretty mellow winter here. Usually we get a decent amount of snow a few weeks of the year, and we got
Mm,
a little bit of a dusting today and another day a few months ago, a little bit of a dusting, but we haven't gotten much here. It's felt,
okay. Yeah, it's pretty snowy here this year.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty snowy. And I'm so sorry for the last week. You wanted to schedule. Yeah, actually, I was in the U.S. I was in L.A.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I went to the NAMM show.
Oh, you did? I
Yeah.
want to, I'm hoping to do that next year. How
Oh,
was
it's
it? It looked like it was a good time.
it's really cool. It's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, it was my first time there. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
was it?
amazing. It was
Oh,
amazing.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
hoping to make it next year. I wasn't sure if they were going to do it this year with all the fires.
Yeah, actually, I think they said actually I heard people saying that this was like the biggest name since the lockdowns.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, even like the big brands that were there this time, like Fender, Gibson, Actually they have like their private room, but they were there. Like I know that the last few years they weren't there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was really nice. It was
you
really
picked a good
nice.
year to go then.
Sorry, I couldn't hear very well.
You picked a good year to go then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Good. Well, yeah, let's dive into the album. It came out in October. I don't know. I've done this twice now where I've discovered an album too late. The last
Mhm.
one was a band that had released their album almost 2 years prior. I don't know where in the world I was. But yeah, I was excited to hear this one. I love instrumentals. And
Oh,
so
cool.
yeah, and so I was super stoked to hear this. You have a part one and a part two, and they're about 2 to 3 years apart. Did you do them at the same time, or were they totally different timings of when you recorded them and put them together?
Yeah, it's 2 years apart. Actually, my first idea was to have one album called Tales of a Changing Life. But just because like how the music business is these days, and algorithm and all of that, you always have to keep your audience engaged, you know. So I couldn't like release an album and then have another one released like 5 years later, right?
Mhm.
So then I had this idea of like splitting it in two parts, and I had like the first part, which is like an EP, 5 songs, and then the second part actually got a little longer than I expected, and yeah, but it was like 2 years apart. But actually, some songs of the second part they were already written when I was recording the first one. Like the first song in Ukshuk, supposed to be the opening track for the first part.
Oh,
Yeah, but I wasn't very happy with that song back in the day, and then I waited a little more, and I was like, okay, so it's not ready to go yet, so I'm gonna just keep it for the next part. And also parts of On the Road, they were also ready. What else? Parts of the title track,
mhm.
and also parts of the Dusting My Eyes, and all
Wow.
the rest. Yeah, and all the rest was pretty. Actually, everything's pretty fresh because I finished the songs when I was like about to record the part two, but I had like most of the ideas uh, during the recordings of the part one.
So how does that work when you come up with like a riff or idea? Do you just like hurry and get your phone out and record yourself so that way you can remember it, or do you like actually write it out, or how do you do?
You know what? I actually have to write it out
Yeah,
because I can't remember everything.
of course. Yeah.
It's just too many notes, like too many parts, and I'm a full-time musician.
Mhm.
So, and I'm all the time playing different songs and also different kind of music all the time. So for me, it's really hard to memorize my own songs,
Yeah.
like because I'm teaching all the time. I'm also doing some different different gigs that I have to learn songs pretty quickly. So, and then I have to write them, So I have like tabs for all my songs, and also I released the songbook for both albums, and actually those are exactly what I wrote for the songs.
Oh, that's
The,
cool.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, because I have to, because otherwise I'll forget it. Every time that I have to play them, I have to go check the tabs, relearn them, because I really can't remember everything.
Oh, I'm sure not. Yeah. So when you had initially started playing, did you go through and learn like all the theory, all the skills and all that, or did you just start just kind of like noodling and deciding, oh, I think I like this instrument, and then progressively run into those things?
Yeah, actually, I started with drums.
Oh,
It was not even
interesting.
guitar. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I started with drums, and then like later, I would say like probably like a year later, I switched to guitar. And but yeah, in the beginning, I was like just noodling, like trying to learn some riffs. Like I remember, I still remember the first riff I ever learned on guitar was Metallica's "Fade to Black."
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's my son's band is gonna play for their talent show coming up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And the second riff was actually one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Geez, you picked some hard ones right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so on. I was trying to learn some riffs, and then later I started like taking some lessons with my cousin because
Yeah.
she was a guitar teacher, like acoustic guitar, and she was teaching me some songs that I really didn't like. Some like pop songs or like kid song, like young kid songs, like I don't even remember honestly, but like anyway. And then later I remember like some some of the lessons she asked me, oh, did you practice the song? I know, actually I didn't, but I learned this riff, and it was like Fade to Black. you know?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then later I like took lessons with my mom's teacher because my mom used to take guitar lessons, and it was more like classical guitar.
Wow.
And the same thing happened once. She asked, "Oh, did you practice?" Yeah, I did practice, but I also learned this, and it was yeah, and actually the song was Testament's "Musical Death."
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
it's an instrumental song from that album. Just to remember how the album's called. I think their second album, The New Order. It's from
Mhm.
that album. It's an instrumental song from that album. And I learned like the riff, something like that. She was like, "Wow, you learned it by yourself?" Yes, yeah. I said, "Yeah."
Like, I want to play metal, guys.
Yeah, I was very into metal
Yeah.
back in the day, and yeah, and then it got serious, right? A lot more serious, and then I switched like to other teacher. He was like more like guitar teacher, and I took like some lessons with him like probably for 2 years, and I was already like playing with bands. Like my first band, I was like 15 years old, and and then later on, I was like more like getting serious, and then I knew that I was going to be a musician. You know, and many people they say, "Ah, but you choose to be a musician." I don't think so. I think like the music and art also always choose you. You
Uh-huh.
know,
Yeah.
it's not like no, like because how I would like expect, how I would think that someday I would be a musician. When I was a kid, I was like, no, I want to be an engineer or whatever, a doctor or whatever. But no, like, no, I've never said, oh, I want to be a musician. I never thought about that. It happened.
Yeah.
It happened. Like the passion was like bigger than anything else.
Mhm.
And then I couldn't like later I just like couldn't I just couldn't like give up anymore because
Yeah.
I
But
was so involved with that, playing like teaching and playing at bars and gigging, like I just couldn't give up anymore.
yeah. That's how my son is too. He plays all the time. He's just absolutely fallen in love with it. It's so cool to see. It's so cool to see a younger generation fall in
Yeah,
love with the instrument too, because I don't know how common that is anymore.
exactly. And you know what? It's getting like myself as a music teacher. I've seen like so many different generations along the years. Like I teach the guitar since 1997,
Oh wow.
so I've seen like different generations. I would say like this generation is probably the hardest one
Hmm.
because they have no passion. You
Hmm.
know, because they grew up with the tablets and the phones. You know, it's a different generation. Remember when I was their age, I was hunting for new bands and new guitar players,
Yeah.
and then one of my friends he would like record like on a tape. Oh, you have to listen to this band,
Yeah.
right? And I would listen to that tape like for what? For months,
Yeah.
you know,
Do the
you
whole
know,
thing too.
the
Not even,
whole thing.
I mean, you have to
Oh,
with cassette tapes because they're a pain in the butt to skip.
exactly. And for them, like these days, like they just have this, they can just choose anything they want on Spotify, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I see like it's been happening like for the last 5, maybe between 5 and 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, they have no passion for anything, and it's really rare when we see like kids and they really like it and
Yeah.
they really like enjoy having that time with the instrument, and that's so important these days,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. I think it helps a lot with patience too, because I mean, I think us as a in general have kind of run out of patience and learned not to be as patient because everything is so instant gratification. And so learning an instrument, I mean, there's not much more patience that goes into to much more.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, because you just can't skip the steps,
Yeah.
right? You
Hmm.
have all those levels. Okay, so the first steps, you have to take those first steps to learn this. And then, okay, and then you have some more steps to learn that,
Yeah.
to get to that level that you want,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
it's impossible, like, um, it's just impossible to start playing an instrument and you play like Steve Vai. Like, it's
Oh yeah.
impossible,
Yeah.
you know? It will take you years of practice. It's not only practice, but also like it's very important to listen, right? You have to know how to listen to songs
Hmm.
to actually learn how to play them,
Yeah.
right? And and of course, like you have to be like very patient, you know, and don't give up,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
and don't give up. Yeah, no kidding. That's a big part of it because yeah, there's a lot of times I think when you're in the motion of learning that it'd probably be so much easier to give up.
I know.
So when you
Definitely.
you had gone from you said from drums to playing guitar, what was it that made you decide to make that switch? Was there like a song or an artist or something that you were like, okay, I think I want to do that instead?
Actually, the drums happened by accident.
Oh, okay.
Because my dad's friend, one of his kids, used to play drums. And he was just like giving away his drums because he was about to buy him a new kit. And then he asked me, "Do you want my kid, my son's drum kit?" I said, "Of course, it's for free,
Right?
right?"
It
I
makes
would
a lot
say
of loud
no.
noises.
Yeah, I would say no.
Right.
So and then it happened. He gave me his kit, and I started learning by myself. I never took lessons, drum lessons. I can't play anymore, but it helps me to write my songs though,
Yeah.
because I have a better understanding of rhythm.
Yeah.
And when I write my songs, I have like some grooves, like some drum fills that I have in mind. Actually, many times I start working on the song with some drum fills, and then I think, okay, so what can I write on the guitar that sounds interesting with that drum fill?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but even when I was playing drums, I was still like, no, I want to play guitar. I want to play guitar because it's guitar, right? It's rock and roll, baby.
Right.
Yeah, and I that was like back in early '90s when Slash was on the top of the world, right?
Yeah, right.
So I'm from that generation.
Hmm.
Of course, like I was very influenced by Slash. I
Hmm.
wanted I wanted to have a Les Paul,
Hmm.
all of that. Until I heard Metallica for the first time. I was like, oh, okay, so it's not Slash.
Yeah.
Okay, bye Slash. Okay, next Metallica.
Okay, yeah,
And then
yeah.
I heard Megadeth. I was like, oh, okay, there we go.
Just
And
get,
that was Marty Friedman,
yeah,
and then Testament was Alex Skonik.
yeah.
So I had like all those phases. Like my first phase on guitar was Lash, and then the second one was like Marty Friedman and Alex Skonik. When I got more interested for like technical guitar, and then I heard Yngwie Malmsteen, and then like everything changed.
Yeah,
Right? I was like, no, this is not possible to play
yeah.
on guitar, right? And I was like, was Yngwie Malmsteen, and then Dream Theater. I
Mm-hmm.
think those guys were like a big like game changing in my life. Yngwie Malmsteen, and then Dream Theater. Not like probably a year later when everything changed because before that I was like very metalhead, like thrash metal, death metal.
Mm-hmm.
That, that's that was all that I listened to. But when I heard Dream Theater the first time, I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
this is really what I want. This is really what I like. And since then, like all my taste for music changed.
Hmm.
I got like more open minded. Like
Yeah,
these days, I listen to everything basically. I just
yeah,
don't listen to country
yeah,
and R&B and rap, hip
yeah.
hop, but
The stuff
all
that
the
doesn't
rest.
really have much musical, either no instruments or the instruments really not exciting.
Yeah, but you know what? There's some like I like some pop singers too, and also like it's not very exciting about playing on the guitar. But sometimes it's just some versions, like instrumental versions on guitar. Like I have like my YouTube channel, I have like some instrumental versions of Lady Gaga song or Sia. And I did like a version of Alanis Morissette song, and I like doing that. I think it's also very interesting because they have like they have a different mindset about melodies, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
And some artists they are really good with melodies, and why not? Like I can like get inspired of with that melody to play on the guitar,
yeah.
you
That's
know.
cool. That's cool that you
And
do that, that you turn, yeah, those songs that don't necessarily have instruments in them into an instrumental song. I always like seeing
yeah,
that. Yeah, my son's guitar instructor does that too. He has a channel where he does the same type of thing, and it always is super cool to hear, yeah, a different song in a guitar form.
exactly. And you know what? Since you mentioned that, these days it's really hard for having you play original music because it's really hard to get the people's attention,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because everyone is it's so busy with like work, life, social media, YouTube, TV, activities, and everything, right? And we can see like so many fantastic musicians on the internet, on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, and they're doing exactly that. They are playing like some versions. They do their own versions of some pop songs or some classic rock songs, and they get like millions of views,
yeah,
right?
that's true.
And actually, that's even easier than like writing, recording, releasing. You
Yeah, of
know,
course. Yeah,
it's
yeah, and
part
that
of the job these days. It's
it is.
actually part of the job.
Yeah, the music industry's changed so much. Uh,
Yeah,
back into your album, the first and the last song, just within themselves, go on a journey just within the song. Like there's melody shifts, there's melody changes. The last song, the self-titled, being the longest one, and it definitely takes you on a pretty wild emotional journey. You put a lot of emotion into your music. Um, when you are trying to figure out um like how I'm sure you go like major minor and figure out what you want the feeling of the song to be and do it that way. But do you purposely try to do shifts in emotion so that way the whole album takes you on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster?
Oh wow, that was an amazing question. um, yeah, amazing and hard question actually. Um, I try to challenge myself, all the time. And this album is a very personal album in every single way, right? And I did like everything that I could to translate all my feelings, all my emotions into notes and chord progressions and all of that, right? I got like inspired by like some move scores. There are some writers that I really like. Some composers like John Williams and Hans Zimmer and Badalamenti. I think that's his name, Angelo Badalamenti. Badalamenti.
I
Yeah,
don't know if I know that one.
yeah. They write like movie scores,
Mhm.
and I can see when we watch a movie. Have you ever tried like watching a movie without the soundtrack, without music? It's
I
really
didn't
weird.
know you could do that. I'll bet it's weird.
It's weird. Can you watch? Can you imagine like watching like Lord of the Rings without the music?
Oh, no, it would be terrible.
Exactly. So, and that's exactly what I had in mind. So how could I like translate all those emotions into notes and harmonies, and instead of like, of course, like I listen to a lot of guitar players,
Mhm.
but I was like more inspired by those composers and also some classical music like Wagner, Chopin, right? Um, to write those melodies and those chord progressions, and of course like it's only like, if of course if you want a happy song, you're going to work more like some major chords,
Mhm.
minor, a sad song, minor chords, and sometimes you have to combine those chords. Sometimes you can just like have combine those chords in a really weird way that you will feel a different, you have like a different feeling about that, you know it's not like jazz, for example. Jazz harmony is a little different, you know. Like my opinion, like jazz, it's more like straight than than movie scores. The
Mhm.
movie scores, you really feel um, everything that's going on in the movie,
Yeah,
right? That's also one of the reasons. Like, there's so many movies that like we cry when we watch them,
right.
right? Exactly, and that's exactly what I was doing, what I was trying to do.
Mhm.
You know, some songs like "Mom's Lullaby" is a very personal and very important song for me,
Yeah.
and and that's exactly what I wanted. I remember when I recorded that song. That's a song that I wrote for my mom,
Mhm.
because my mom, she is the probably the most important person for me. Like that, she was very important for my entire music career because she always supported me. Actually, I grew up with my mom playing guitar and singing at home all the time, and I wanted to translate all those moments into my music.
Mhm.
You know, and I remember when I was writing that song and also recording it, I have some pictures of her around me.
Oh,
Okay,
I
because I
love.
would look at her and I was like, okay, so how can I have that moment in
Yeah,
this? You know what I mean?
but how I feel into
How
music.
I feel. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. When I recorded that song, that's exactly what I did. Like I had like a lot of pictures of her and pictures of us when I was like a baby, or I was like, okay, so I have to do this.
Mhm.
You know, how can I do this? How can I make this touch the people's hearts,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I try to do. Maybe in the next album, probably it's gonna be different. I don't know. As I
Yeah.
said, like this project was very, very personal, you know. But maybe the next one, no. Maybe the next one is gonna be like extremely technical or heavier. I have some things in mind. I would like to do something more like a trio, even
Oh,
though that I, even though that I love orchestrations. I would like to try maybe doing something more like a trio
yeah.
and see how it goes.
That'd be
Maybe,
Yeah. So what in
maybe.
that case, I mean, you have a lot of guests on this album. So is that something you think that you might do in the future as well, is keep adding artists for different songs?
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I love doing that.
Yeah. Well, it seems
And
like
also,
a lot of guitar players, well, a lot of musicians in general, not just guitar players, but a lot of musicians in general seem
yeah,
to enjoy that.
yeah, and you know what? I think also for these days, it's very important, right? Um, because I think those guitar players they added that touch to my songs, you
Mhm.
know, and those songs wouldn't sound the same without them,
Right.
you know. And you can say like my songs is not only about guitar because there's still a lot of all the other instruments.
Yeah.
I really like giving the other musicians freedom to do whatever they want,
Yeah.
you know, because I know that they are going to make the song better, you
Yeah.
know, and
Right.
that's very important. You can see like sometimes like I don't even do like guitar solo and just ask to the keyboard player just do your thing, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
like the last song, the title track.
Mhm.
There's a long section that's more like guitar and keyboards doing kind of like a duet. And for that part, I thought about having another guitar player doing that with me.
Oh.
Yeah, but I was like, I think there's a lot of guitar in the song.
Mhm.
You know, I thought, no, I think it's gonna be nicer if I have the keyboard,
Yeah.
right? And but yeah, I think about having other guitar players I really would like to collab with.
Yeah.
And
You have like a
oh
list.
yeah, I have a list in my mind.
Have you ever
I
listened to the band Lost Symphony?
heard about them.
They're
Yeah,
they do that. They have like kind of their core group of people, and then they have like you had mentioned Marty Friedman, Alex Skolnick, both of them
oh,
have collabed
cool.
with them. I think Angel Vivaldi has actually as well.
Oh yeah,
There's a million of them. Bumblefoot, I think, did one of them, and there's a million of them. But they have a bunch of different like compositions and different type of instruments and stuff that they throw into these songs, and it's kind of the same thing, takes you on a pretty emotional journey because they have so much emotional sounds going on.
oh very nice, very nice. Yeah, yeah, I heard about them. Yeah,
Actually, I
it's
think I know at least one of them is Canadian.
mm.
I'm trying to remember if if the
Oh Kelly, it's
yes,
Kelly, right?
yes.
Yeah, I know him.
Oh, how
Yeah,
fun. Well, yeah. I mean, not that Canada's a small country by any means, but you guys are definitely two big guitar players in the same country.
oh yeah, yeah. But we kind of know we know each other. Everyone knows each other here, right?
Oh,
I heard about each other, but yeah, I actually know Kelly. Yeah, he's a fantastic guitar player.
yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
He is.
We are friends on social media and we've met before in person. Yeah,
How funny. How funny.
yeah.
Small world, huh?
What is my world?
Yeah, no kidding. Speaking of which, you went from like one crazy climate to another, and then being in LA back to the warmer climate. Is it hard to be in a colder climate, or at this point are you pretty used to it and satisfied?
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Actually, you know what? I was born in Brazil, so I lived my whole life in Brazil, basically. So yeah, it was like 40 degrees almost every day. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, in Brazil it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I just assumed it was warmer there.
No, no, yeah, 40 Celsius.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Celsius.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Yeah, which it is really hot. Like
right.
40 Celsius, yeah. Almost every day or at least for 9 months of the year. So I really don't mind having some snow here.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of nice to be able to cool off a little bit. What are some
Oh yeah.
what are some things you do in your spare time if you have spare time? I know that you do teach music, and obviously you play music and are a hardcore musician. But what are some things like when you do have spare time that you do?
Gym.
Yeah.
Working out. Yeah.
So
I
is
haven't
that,
done this week though. I'm pretty lazy this week. It's just too cold. I think.
I was gonna say it's hard when it's cold out. It's hard.
It is. It
What
is.
then
It
you just
is.
come up with excuses, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What are
So,
some things you do for self-care to make sure you're keeping balance when you're super, super busy? Gym is obviously a good one. Music is obviously a good one. Are there any other things that you do for self-care?
yeah, you know what? When you say self care, I also think about mentally, right?
Mhm.
Mentally healthy, right? So sometimes I really try to avoid social media and etc. You know, there's some other things like playing video games or trying to eat healthy, which is I think it's really hard here in Canada. I think it was way easier in Brazil.
Oh,
Yeah, it was way easier. Also because of the weather, right? The weather is nicer there. It's easier, you know. It's easier to have like fresh vegetables and fruits there
okay.
because they all grow there.
That
We
makes
don't, yeah, we actually don't have any imported fruits or vegetables there. So, and here it's basically everything imported, you know.
yeah,
So, but I try to eat better. I try to read books
yeah.
a little bit every day. I do my Duolingo every day.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, I'm trying
Okay.
to learn French and Spanish.
Oh my gosh, how cool. That's
Yeah,
really,
actually speak French a little bit, but yeah,
it seems like that would be a hard one. Because I'm assuming that you know, obviously know Portuguese.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
I
Portuguese is my first language,
right.
actually.
And so French is like so different than Portuguese as far as how you say the things. And so I'm
No, actually not. Actually, the grammar is very similar.
is it even like
Yeah.
how you like enunciate and stuff? I remember I took French and I took Spanish in high school, obviously way, way different than what you're talking about. But I remember Spanish, I could emulate the way you say things way easier than French. French, you have to
Oh
like
yeah.
your face a different way in
Yeah.
order to make the
Yeah.
sound right.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. But the grammar is very similar. Yeah. Actually, there are some sounds in French that we can't do, or even in English. There are some sounds in English that I also cannot do.
Yeah.
The same thing and vice versa, right? I know
Yeah.
that English speakers they have some issues with some sounds in Portuguese, like
Yeah.
this sound. I know that it's hard. In French, the I know it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Je.
Right.
But the Canadian French is completely different.
Yeah. Right.
Completely different. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's cool.
Yeah.
You said you like to read books. What are some of the your favorite books that you feel like has either you really enjoyed or that's been like a influence for you?
Okay. There's one. Lord of the Rings.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I love Tolkien.
mhm.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah, like my favorite books for sure. Like by far my favorite books. And what else that I like biographies.
Yeah.
I know many people don't like biographies, but I really like biographies.
Oh yeah. No, there's some really good ones. I
Yeah,
just
some rock stars.
Yeah, I just read
Uh,
Surge's a couple months ago, the Down with the System, and it was fantastic. It was I did not expect it. I don't know why, but I didn't expect it to be that good. I know he's an intelligent man, but it was incredible. Lord of the Rings, I read The Hobbit probably like 5 times when I was a teenager, and then
oh
I
wow.
the trilogy after that before the movies came out, and so it was really cool seeing them bring the stories to life. Did a good job.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, actually, there's a Brazilian author, and he also has like a trilogy, like Lord of the Rings, very inspired by Lord of the Rings. It's called Angels of Death,
Oh,
and yeah, it's really good. Unfortunately, I've never seen in English.
oh, bummer.
But yeah, yeah, but it's really good. His name is Eduardo, like Edward
Uh-huh.
Spore.
Oh,
Edward Spore. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah,
oh,
it's called
well,
Angels of Death. Yeah,
hopefully
it's
it'll,
not Slayer.
yeah, I was gonna say, hopefully it'll come out in English, or I'll just have to learn Portuguese so that way I can read it. I love
Yeah,
doing so anytime I have a new suggestion, I'm usually all over it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah, very good book. Oops, I have some. I had a message here and
Oh yeah,
it's
no,
very
go ahead.
loud for me.
You good?
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Uh, you had, yeah, we were talking about movie scores and how like they obviously bring out a lot of emotions when you're watching movies. Is that something you've thought about doing is or something you'd want to do like video games, movies, TV shows, anything like that that you would ever be interested in?
I really would love to. I really, really would love to. There's a song from the. I can even like mention the song, the movies that I got inspired for some parts of the songs. There's a song from the first part. It's in French. It's called "La Première Experience," and part of that song I was inspired by. Do you know that movie called Amélie?
I don't know if I don't think I've ever seen it. I've heard of
No,
it,
yeah,
but I don't think I've ever seen it.
yeah. It's a French movie. I
Mhm.
don't know the name in English, but I know in French is Le Fabuleux Destin de Millie Poulain.
Oh,
And yeah, I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all times, and I really love the soundtrack. It's fantastic, fantastic. And my song has a kind of French vibe,
yeah.
and that actually that soundtrack um, inspired me for that song,
Oh,
right?
cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. And there's another song from the first part called Physical Distancing,
Mhm.
and also was inspired by movie score. Well, how did the movie was called? I forgot now. Oh jeez, I totally forgot how the movie's called now. But remember that I love the soundtrack, you
Yeah.
know, and I kind of explored the same chords, not the same key, but but the same chord progression on my song. And I remember that it's exactly the guitar solo part. When I was writing the solo, I was like, oh, what am I going to do here now? Really, because it's easy for you to write a melody for a movie, but to write a guitar solo over that chord, weird chord progression, I was like, what am I going to do here? What a dumb idea.
So what do you do when you get stuck like that? What are some things that you help like get unstuck?
uh, I listen to my favorite players and I think, okay, so what he would do in this case,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I have um, those inspirations, you
Mhm.
know? Well, like Nuno Betancourt would do for this part, or what John Petrucci would do for this part. I don't play like their licks because it's their licks,
Right,
right?
right.
And they have like their own techniques, and I have my own techniques, like the techniques that I like, that it's easier for me, that feels easier for me. There are some techniques it's easier for them, but I think like okay, so how they would create a melody for this part,
Yeah,
or Steve Morse or Steve Vai or whatever, you
yeah.
know,
Cool.
and that's what I do,
That's really
you
cool.
know, yeah,
Have you ever thought about doing like a horror themed whatever? Whether
yeah,
because I mean those are obviously darker, I don't know about heavier, but heavier emotionally tone.
yeah.
Is that something that you've ever thought about or
That's a good idea. I've never thought about that. Yeah, yeah, that's a really good idea. You're giving me ideas. That's good.
I love horror movies and I love the music in horror movies because it makes it more intense, or makes it like more emotional depending on what's going on in the movie. And so I'm always just curious with people who write with a lot of emotion if that's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that
If you take a look at the Halloween movie,
Mhm.
the soundtrack,
Mhm.
that's very proggy, right?
Yeah. Huh. Never thought about that, but you're right, it is.
Yeah, it's very proggy. Yeah,
And it's such a like iconic sound. We all know we all look behind us to make sure
Oh
Michael
yeah.
Myers isn't behind us when we hear that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? You gave me a really good idea. I will think about that.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I'm gonna make an album inspired by only horror movies.
Right, there you go. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the album will, and then the album will be called Abigail.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Wait, yeah, could go by two with that. That's funny. That's funny. Oh no, what did I do? Oh, sorry.
Oops, where are you? There we go.
I have a touch screen computer, and I was moving my paper and accidentally touched the screen, and it decided to make me go bye bye.
Okay, it happens.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking this time with me. I super appreciate it. You're a lot
Oh,
of
thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It was really, really fun. It's good that
Awesome.
we were talking about other things. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, it's fun to do that. I mean, I know I saw that you've been doing a decent amount of interviews, and I always feel bad when people have to repeat themselves like the same questions over and over. So I try to mix it up so you don't have to feel like you're like, okay, same question, same answer. Oh, I did want to ask you though.
Mm.
I know you have obviously a lot of different guitars, of course, because you're a guitar player, and that's
Mhm.
probably have we have 15 to 20 guitars in our house. And
Oh, so
and
you have more than me.
well, it's insane. It's insanity. I haven't played for years, but my son plays so much now that he's inherited my guitars, and then he has his own, and he plays enough that he definitely deserves them. But we have a ridiculous amount. But which one is your favorite? If you could pick a favorite,
Okay, only one favorite of my guitars?
one favorite, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I have, how many guitars do I have? I think I have 9 guitars. I've never had so many guitars my whole life.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite one, it's the Ernie Ballmill's Command JP15.
Mm-hmm.
It's the guitar that I recorded like most of the album.
Now, what makes that one your favorite?
Ooh, almost everything in it. Um, if I would change something on that guitar, I probably would have like different pickups, like but different configuration, like humbucker single single, because I also like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think it doesn't sound right with that guitar. But anyway, it would be really nice to have a version of that guitar with humbucker single single. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I really like the neck. I like how it feels. I really like how the cleans sounds really good, you know. And also it's very crunchy. Probably one of the reasons that I like that one better than the other JPs. I have other two JPs. I have the JP10 and JP6. They're more like traditional, and it sounds more crunchy because of the neck,
Oh, okay.
because it's a maple neck.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and it sounds brighter, you know.
Mhm.
And that's one of the reasons that I like it better. Like the roasted maple neck, it's great for mainly the winter. You know, it's more stable. You know, because here in Canada, the it can get like really cold and really dry, and in the summer it's really hot and really humid. So for the guitars, that's awful, right?
Yeah.
And the roasted maple neck is great for that because it's more stable. So I
Okay.
like that. I really like that stability, and also like how brighter it sounds.
Yeah.
Because I have other ones like the JP10. It's the one that I record that I'm on the video, the last video that I released, the Tears of a Changed Life suite.
Mm-hmm.
That guitar, it's I think the neck, it's like mahogany with ebony, so it sounds like darker, like
Okay.
and more like a fall, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the crunchy sound better, like
Yeah.
the JP15. That's one of the reasons that I use that guitar in most of the album.
Awesome.
You know? Yeah,
Have you
that's my main guitar.
have you ever played, or do you have any of the guitars that have the Evertune bridge?
No, I've never even tried them.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I've
pretty.
never even tried them. Yeah, I would like to try them, but I heard that the tuning stability is really good.
Yeah.
But the people say that there's no feedback, not much feedback. So I don't know. I have to try it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have to try it.
yeah. It's an interesting technology that they've added into it for sure.
Oh yeah, that's very useful for all of us,
But right, yeah.
right?
Especially when you're on tour.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. For sure. For sure. So much better. You tune the guitar only once before going to the stage. Yes. Perfect. Right?
Yeah,
Perfect. For these days is perfect.
better than yeah, breaking a string on a Floyd Rose.
Oh no, no. Yeah, no, I'm done with Floyd Rose, definitely. I have two guitars with Floyd, no, three guitars with Floyd Rose.
You do.
But yeah, but I'm done with Floyd Rose. Yeah. No, floating bridge, no way. Actually, the JPs, they are floating bridge, but it's not like not like the Floyd Rose. It's more stable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more stable. Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much for taking this time with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and stay warm.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a pleasure for me to be here. Can I say my links?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Please.
yeah. Okay. So if you guys want to know more, learn more about me, my website is www.rodrodriguez.net. All my socials like Rod Rodriguez Official on Instagram or TikTok, and also I have two YouTube channels. One is only for teaching and more like for beginners, and it's called our Guitar Academy. And I also have the website www.rguitaracademy.com. Now there I have like my online courses, and I have my YouTube channel. It's the Rod Rodriguez. That's only for music, not lessons. A few lessons, but not like the Guitar Academy. And that's it. Yeah, I hope you guys like my new album. And thank you so much. Nika was fantastic. And I hope I'll see you anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully at NAM next year.
Oh yeah, that'll be great. I'll be there for sure.
Awesome,
I'll
awesome.
be, that'll
Thank
be
you
there
so
for
much.
sure. Thank you very much.
Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.